Hello again. My name is Atticus. My pronouns are he, him. Um, some of you may know me, some of you may not. Today I want to focus on the joy of being trans in a state of oppression and why it is an important conversation to be had. Before I get started, though, I want to thank my friend Zaya for helping out. They're someone who shares the same values as me, and I know I had to share the stage with them, even though they take up the stage every night. Now, being trans in America is a frightful thing. Our community is under persecution as we speak, which leaves our people uneasy, often not knowing what brings tomorrow. I am one of these people. As a trans man, I find safe spaces within our community, but our voices are still being taken over by queer people. Yes, I am happy our community is fighting for us, but sometimes they speak over the voices that need to be heard the most, not knowing what's at stake for the trans community. On the other side of this, we face pressure from our community wanting to take the T out of LGBT. We also struggle with social standards, not being able to wear the clothes that make us comfortable, being misgendered, and the stigma that says you don't fit in anywhere. Finding those who understand these endeavors is to find your community, to find hope. It is the only way to understand one another and yourself. I'm here to stand my ground and educate those who are willing to listen. Looking at my brothers, sisters, and siblings, seeing them fight for one another is a feeling of triumphant. Allowing ourselves to come together and be ourselves as we protest the American government, as we dress how we want, take our medication, and be our truest selves, never giving up on ourselves in these hard times and refusing to be anything but who you are through all the hatred always brings hope into the world. Trans people are here to bring light into our world and always have been. We are not here to burden others. I know when people start their journey, all they want to do is live. They want to experience life as the person they were meant to be. In 2024 alone, there were 350 trans people who are missing or dead to this day. Those people are unable to experience the joy of being themselves, only getting to live a fraction of what life had to offer. Now that Trump is in office, he is using his power to strip away all the foundations trans people have built up over time, taking away our rights to medical care, not allowing gender-affirming passports, and again, taking away the T and LGBT off government websites. Erasure is another reason why our community needs to come together, forming strong bonds in growing times. As trans people, we are looked down upon at times. People label us as pedophiles, trying to break into bathrooms just to hurt the opposite sex out of fear of what they do not understand. We just want to live and be treated as humans, not as spectacles. I'm taking up space today to say, do not overstep, do not overstay, let our voices be heard. Be the loudest in the room as the trans community. I know you want to help us, but help us by fighting with us, amplifying our voices to deaf ears. I can speak from my own experience, but I also know that people of color have it the hardest and they're the most overlooked in the trans community. As a white person, it is my job to sit and listen to them when they speak up. I'm very fortunate to be able to get my hormones and be able to transition easily because I am white. People of color are not as fortunate to get these resources as easily. I was able to talk to a small group of people and get their insight on what brings them joy and how joy is the way to fight oppression, and here's what they have to say. I am prideful of my journey being difficult, but never giving up. I would say I found myself, but my community found me, nurtured me, calmed the anxious anxieties of being myself in a world that sees me as less than. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for their welcoming arms and open hearts. I'm the proudest because I've done a lot of work on myself. It's hard to look into your pain and problems, but it's also cool and gratifying. I am proud of my and many other trans siblings' resilience. I am proud of our community's resilience and the unbreakable bond many of us have. I am also proud of the bumpy journey that led me to find my authentic self and how I can live through this self in my community and those who love me wholeheartedly. I am proud of finding community in safe spaces where we can also be ourselves and experiencing authenticity in reaffirming actions with one another. And myself, I'm proud of finding people like Zaya or my husband that I can talk to about being trans and those who can support me with my transition. I wanted to highlight some of these voices because even if they didn't want to step up into this role like I did, they should have a place to shine. That's all I do, though, experience life through new eyes and be myself. To be born exactly as you are, these are small things people take for granted, which cause euphoric emotions for all of us. For example, when I was at the Pride prom, I was able to dance shirtless with other queer trans folks. Without persecution, insecurity, and fear, I've never felt more euphoric in my life. It was amazing. I had always had this feeling that I was different than others in my mind. I thought everyone already saw me as Atticus. I was informed that was not true. I was, in fact, a different person who I used to be. Being myself now has never made me more happier. I was able to get top surgery 2 years ago, and during that surgery, I was told I might have depression afterwards and even regret my decision. I did not experience any of that. The day I got top surgery, it felt normal. It was not some big emotion, it was just looking in a mirror and seeing myself for who I really was for the first time. Since that happened, I have felt more free to live my life. The simple things of taking your shirt off when you're hot, going swimming, or even taking a picture, these would make me contort my body to hide what I did not need. Now I'm free. Though you might not understand how it feels to be not born into the right body, I hope you can put yourself into a trans person's shoes and understand how we feel. Even if you do not understand, we are still human and every action counts. Thank you.